Well, hello again, all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching Georgia Beer Reviews. Back at you today with another one. And what I'm looking at is a local brewery from Atlanta, Georgia. This is Second Self Beer Company's Mole Porter. It is a Nitro Mole Porter. Comes in at 6.2% alcohol. Could not find the IBUs, not listed on the can or on the website. It says for best results, pour down center of glass. So this particular porter has cinnamon, cocoa, cloves, and chilies added. It says robust. And then it says brewed by Second Self Beer Company, Atlanta, Georgia. Sip into your second self. All right, so I don't think it has a widget in here. Let's see. All right, let's pour it right down the middle as they suggest. Okay, no widget in the can. There's the pour. It's a nice appearance. You've got a 2.5, 3-finger creamy tan head. The appearance is black, but when you hold it up to the light, you are getting a little bit of brown on the bottom of the glass, but for all intents and purposes, it's black. I mean, yeah. So it looks very good in the glass. The appearance is very nice. The head is also very creamy looking as well. The aroma, all right. I'm getting the clove and the cinnamon. Clove, cinnamon, maybe a little bit of chocolate. The clove is very strong with this on the aroma. Not getting any of the chilies. I would imagine that would come through a little bit more on the palate and the finish. It smells very pleasant, a little bit of like a toasted bread note on the aroma as well once you get through that clove after taking several deep inhalations. Yeah, that roast is starting to come through a little bit. It smells pretty good. Looks great. So let's go ahead and dive right in, guys. Cheers. Dark and roasty. You get the dark roasted barley malt coming, right at you. Some darkly toasted bread notes, not charred, but pretty dang close. Very, very deep roast. Wow. The cinnamon gets kind of lost now. It's got some hop character to it. I wish I did know what the IBUs are. This is pretty hoppy beer. The chilies, I feel like I'm not really getting a burn from the chilies, but I'm getting the flavor from the chilies on the palate. It doesn't burn going down, though. It's not really spicy, but I am getting some pepper flavor, some chili flavor. With the Nitro presentation, the head is sticking around, and it's very creamy, dreamy, delightful. The body with this is medium to almost heavy. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and just say that the body is heavy with this one. Yeah, it's very heavy bodied. It's um, it's enjoyable. I wish I was getting some burn from the chili. I wish I was getting some more of the cocoa and definitely the cinnamon. I'm not getting any cinnamon on the palate or in the finish. The body, like I said, is heavy, but the mouthfeel is very creamy, very smooth. Drinkability is sort of low with this because it is heavy. I think after one or two of these, you're going to want to move. You're going to want to move on to something else, just because this is going to fill you up pretty quickly, I would imagine. It's not a bad beer though. It's very enjoyable. It's got some good flavor. I just wish the cinnamon was coming through a little bit more. The cocoa, and then that chili burn, I wish would come into play on the finish at least. I love a good chili beer. I love the burn that you get from that. This has no burn. It has a little bit of the chili character on the palate, but with absolutely no burn on the finish, which is kind of a letdown for me being a huge pepper guy, huge chili guy. Um, I was kind of hoping for a little bit of that. It is an enjoyable beer. I think it's probably in the excellent range, but it's on the lower end for me. I've had a lot of better porters than this over the years. Founders Porter is probably the standard for which all porters shall be judged. In my book, that's one of the best porters, if not the best porter that I've ever had. This one is good. It's a little too heavy bodied for a porter, in my opinion. It's definitely got more of a stout body to it. Um, very thick, very creamy, but I mean, it's very high, very heavy bodied. You couldn't drink too many of these, and it's lacking a little bit of the additives that they put in this beer. Just don't really come through enough for me. The carbonation is really low, almost non-existent, but you do get the creamy mouthfeel from the nitro. Um, it's a 90 out of 100 for me. It's excellent, but it's right there. 89, 90. I'm gonna go with the 90 and say it's an A minus because it really is an excellent beer. There's nothing off about it. It does have some great flavor, but I wish there was a little bit more flavor from some of the things that they put in this beer. I wish the body was a little bit lighter, being that it is a porter and not a stout. The alcohol is masked extremely well, 6.2%. With this much body in a beer, though, you're not really going to get too much alcohol anyway. And I wish that the finish was a little bit more. I wish the chili would kind of burn a little bit on the finish, and it's kind of a wet finish, not sloppy, but wet. It's not a dry finish. But anyway, an excellent beer nonetheless. It's just on the low end for me because I've had so many porters, and this is just not really one of my favorites. But it is an excellent beer nonetheless. So 90 out of 100 for the Second Self Beer Company's Mole or Nitro Mole Porter. There you go, guys. Maybe the only beer review for this beer in the world. Very local craft brewery. So anyway, if you do live in the state of Georgia, if you live close to Atlanta, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I bought a 6-pack for under $10, so for craft beer, that's really not too bad. So anyway, I will stop blabbing. Hope you guys are all having a great day. 90 out of 100. That'll do it for this beer review. And until next time, everybody, cheers.